Final round of the FIM MX2 Motocross World Championship kicked into life at Teutschenthal. First three places already guaranteed. Jeffrey Hurlings, Tommy Searle and Jeremy Van Hoorbeek. The battle still very much on for fourth though. In the opening moto it was Elliot Banks-Brown who took the early lead ahead of Tommy Searle, but he messed up coming out of a corner and lost the lead to Tommy Searle. He then came under pressure from the likes of Zach Osborne and the 911 of Geordie Tixier. Tixier ahead of Jake Nichols at this stage, but on lap 3 or 4 Hurlings went out and that was him done from 5th position. Fortunately for him, the championship was already decided. Zach Osborne went through on Elliot Banks-Brown and that was for 2nd place, and shortly after that the Brit's luck ran out and Elliot Banks-Brown was forced to retire after a blown engine, robbing him of his best ever race finish. Tommy Searle though went on to win from Zach Osborne, Tixier, Nichols and Tellier. In MX1 Race One, Cairoli and DeSalle guaranteed 1st and 2nd in the championship, but the battle for 3rd very much on between Gauthier Paulin and Christophe Pourcel. There was a big crash coming out of turn 1 that took Sean Simpson, Jonathan Barragan, Greg Aranda and 1 or 2 others. But up front, Max Nagel led from Tony Cairoli and Ken Roxon. Those two Red Bull KTM riders going at it bar to bar. They started to close in on Max Nagel as well, and then Roxon stalled and lost a couple of positions to Tony Cairoli and Clement DeSalle. Tony Cairoli then whipped his way into the lead, passing Max Nagel, who then a couple of laps later lost his rear wheel and took a whole load of fencing with him as well, and that dropped him down to 7th place by the time the checkered flag fell. Tony Cairoli though was alone up front. DeSalle eventually got himself into 2nd, was being caught by Roxon, and then he fell, losing the front end coming out of one of the right-hand turns going downhill. Everything settled down after that. It was Cairoli from Clement DeSalle, Ken Roxon. Gauthier Paulin had a lonely ride in 4th with Ken de Dijker down in 5th. Good ride for Xavier Borg coming from 18th to 9th, but Cairoli the winner in race 1. MX2 Race 2. Jake Nichols got off to the perfect start on the Nissan JM Racing KTM. He pulled the whole shot and led for 3 laps. Tommy Searle eventually went through on him though. So too did Jeffrey Hurlings, but it was a good battle shaping up in the early stages of the race. Nichols made a mistake coming onto the plateau in front of the main spectator area. Tommy Searle taking the opportunity and pushing Nichols back into 2nd. A lap or so later, and Jeffrey Hurlings got good drive around the outside, set himself up perfectly and ran down the inside of the Nissan rider and into 2nd position, and we thought there was going to be a battle then between Tommy Searle and Jeffrey Hurlings for one last time, but it didn't really materialise. Searle eventually pulling clear. Tonus then moved up into 3rd place ahead of Jake Nichols, and it wasn't long before Zach Osborne, the 2nd of the Monster Energy Yamahas, also followed suit, and he moved into 4th. Jake Nichols though in 5th. That was going to be good enough for him to take 4th in the championship. It was a double race win in the overall though for Tommy Searle in his last ever MX2 Grand Prix. Podium looked like that then. Monster Energy whitewash, Tommy Searle, Zach Osborne and Arnold Tonus. But Jeffrey Hurlings, we knew he was world champion 2 weeks ago, receives a gold plate, and of course they had the medal ceremony as well. And the final championship podium, Jeffrey Hurlings, Tommy Searle, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek.
That was a good day for me. The first race I rode a little bit tight, and then the 2nd race I just had a really good rhythm. You know, I think it hurt Jeffrey a little bit because the track changed a lot since morning practice and he didn't get a ride, so I had my lines a little bit more down, but obviously it's nice for me to go out with a win here because I didn't get the championship, but congratulations to Jeffrey for all he done this year, and you know, I've had a good year and now on to MX1 for me.
MX1 Race 2, the gate fell, we're on board with Tanel Leok, who didn't get a good jump, unlike the 2 Red Bull KTMs of Tony Cairoli and Max Nagel. And it was Tony Cairoli who breezed into the lead, and that's how it pretty much stayed for him. Ken Roxon was 2nd for every lap, but the battle really was for 3rd between Max Nagel and Clement DeSalle. The 2 guys trading bars and places on more than one occasion throughout the 20-lap affair. DeSalle wasn't afraid to run it down the inside of Nagel, nor too was Nagel afraid to close the door on the Belgian. Eventually that was a pass though that guaranteed Max Nagel 3rd place in the race, but sadly it wasn't enough for him to finish overall on the podium after his crash in moto number 1. But Clement DeSalle tried though throughout the entire moto to find a way through, but it would not prevail. Clement DeSalle was in 4th position then, so Gauthier Paulin was 5th. Evgeny Bobryshev was 6th in what was quite a static race in the end, but Tony Cairoli went on to clinch another double race win, 21 race wins in a season. And he won the overall Grand Prix as well. Ken Roxon was 2nd overall, Clement de Sal 3rd. And of course, Tony Cairoli, crowned world champion a couple of weeks ago, also picked up his gold medals here and his gold plate. Dr. Wolfgang Schrupp on hand, as usual. Cairoli riding with a slight hand injury, actually, from an incident in practice on Saturday. The overall podium, though, for the championship, Cairoli, de Sal, Paulin.
Today was a great racing with my teammates. Max Nagel was pretty fast on the first heat, and also Ken Roxon was riding really well on his home soil. So yeah, I cannot say nothing. I think it was a great race today. So many people, so much public, and there is no better way for celebrate our 6th title, and all 3 KTMs, MX1 and MX2 and MX3 also win the world title. So we cannot wish better for better.
Many congratulations, Tony.
Thank you.